Good morning to you all learners. We are now handling another important topic, which is a scientific breakthrough. That's called the DNA vaccine. The DNA vaccine is not widespread like that of the earlier vaccinations that we have seen. It is now being released in the context of this COVID-19. I will let you know the details. Okay. Now let us see the video.
Hi, my name is Paul Offit. I'm talking to you today from the Vaccine Education Center here at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. One of the strategies that's used to make this SARS-CoV-2 vaccine, the COVID-19 vaccine, is called DNA vaccines. So DNA is the blueprint of life. It's the genes that determines how our cells reproduce themselves. And so the way this strategy works is you take a small gene from the virus, the gene that codes for this so-called SARS-CoV-2 spike protein. So the spike protein is the protein that, if you've seen pictures of this virus, sort of emanates from the surface of the virus. It gives it its crown-like appearance, hence corona, and it's the protein responsible for attaching the virus to cells. If you can make antibodies to that protein that attaches the virus to cells, and presumably you can prevent the virus from attaching to cells, or said another way, you can prevent the virus from infecting you. So the way the DNA vaccine works is, now this is just a small gene that codes for that spike protein. You inoculate it into people. That gene then enters the nucleus, where it's then initially transcribed to messenger RNA, which then is translated to a protein, and that protein is the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein, which is then excreted from the cell, and then you make antibodies to that protein. So in other words, your body makes the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein, and then your body makes antibodies to that protein. This is not a strategy that's been used before. Similar to the mRNA vaccines, it is not a strategy that's been used before. But there's every reason to believe that both of these strategies can be useful, but we'll find out. And that's why we do these large prospective placebo-controlled phase 3 trials, to prove that these vaccines work and prove that they're safe before we inoculate them into millions or tens of millions or hundreds of millions of people. Thank you.
Which explains the importance of the DNA vaccine, the breakthroughs in the scientific investigations pertaining to the DNA vaccines. Okay, hitherto we have seen subunit vaccination, inactivated vaccination, and the killed virus as vaccines, like this. Now it is the DNA vaccine. How the DNA works in the host organism, that is virus DNA. How does it help us to prevent the diseases? So that's what we are going to see now. Now let us see the objectives. Okay, so here, to explore the mechanisms involved in the functioning of the DNA vaccine. The second one is to acquaint with the types of the DNA vectored vaccines. See what is happening, like a protein. See, please remember, this is a very important aspect of it. I wanted to emphasize this. So if a protein, the protein is folded. Protein is folded. Okay. So as a result, the protein is folded like this. Like this. This is a protein, complex protein. So in this protein, this is one antigen, this is one antigen, this is another antigen. So all these antigens are said to be, what is it called? They contain epitopes. Okay. So these epitopes are nothing but antigenic determinant sites. Okay. Now, after having gone through this video and also with a brief introduction about the DNA vaccines, as I indicated to you, the breakthrough in the scientific investigations. Okay, let us see the objectives now. The first one is to explore the mechanisms involved in the functioning of the DNA vaccine. It's a new concept. Why I am telling new concept? Hitherto they were giving inactivated virus as vaccine. Hitherto they are giving the attenuated virus as the vaccine. Hitherto they were giving the subunit of the virus as the vaccine. Now it is not the subunit, it is the DNA. Which portion of the DNA, how much DNA of the virus is being used, we'll see now. The second one is to acquaint with the types of DNA vectored vaccine. Vectored. See, DNA, if a protein is given, the protein is being identified by the B cells, macrophages. The DNA is given. Where does the DNA go? Where does the DNA go? For the DNA to work. For the DNA to work. Okay. So the DNA, if we are taking like this, so this DNA, if it is given, where does it work? Because the DNA is not identified by the macrophage. DNA is not identified by the macrophage. It is not identified by the T cell. It is not identified by the B cell. All these cells cannot see the DNA. Foreign DNA, they do not know. Okay. So this DNA, along, if it is given, this DNA transcribes and it goes into the ribosomes. Okay. And the ribosome translates. Okay. Once the ribosome translates, a protein comes. Okay. If the protein is spike protein, okay, then that is being seen by the macrophage. So that is the step involved in the DNA vaccination. Those details we see now. To familiar with the applications of the DNA vaccines. Okay. So these are all the objectives. By the end of this particular video, we will be knowing what is the function, what is the advantage of DNA vaccines, which is new concept. That's what I am telling you. Now, let us see the expected outcomes. Here, DNA vaccine functioning will be known. How does the DNA as a vaccine will work? Hitherto, it was not the procedure like that. I told you, inactivated, attenuated, subunit, all those things. Now, DNA as a platform for the preparation of the vaccine will be understood. Okay, so that's what the DNA, we cannot see, it is not artificially synthesized DNA. Original DNA from bacteria, original DNA from virus. Okay, so if the bacteria, one more point that you have to remember, our COVID-19 is having 30,000 nucleotides. 30,000 nucleotides. That means this is enormous DNA. Sorry, this 30,000 nucleotides in what is called plus RNA. It is having plus RNA, the positive RNA. Total 30,000 nucleotides will not be given as DNA vaccine. We take which is the essential portion. Which is the essential portion of this RNA. Essential means, I told you earlier, there is angiotensin converting enzyme 2. Okay, so to this, the spike protein binds. So this is the spike protein that is essential here. The spike protein binds to ACE2. What is ACE2? Angiotensin converting enzyme 2 receptor is present in our lungs. It is present in our kidney. It is present in our intestinal tract. Okay, so it binds. Once it anchors, then it endocytoses. It is endocytosed. It is endocytosed. That is inside the cell it comes. So that's what the DNA vaccine ultimately makes it function. So now the new concept of nucleic acid based vaccines will be known. That's what I told you. It's a breakthrough. Now let us see the introduction. A little bit theory here. Let us understand this. A vaccine is a biological preparation. It is not like organic chemistry. It is not like Ranbaxy or Reddy's Lab or any Pfizer, what they make, regular chemicals like paracetamol. Paracetamol contains acetaminophen. It is an organic molecule having 500 Daltons the weight. It's not like that with regard to the vaccine. So a vaccine is a biological preparation. That's what the biotechnology students are having. Lot of potential now, employment potential, because the people require the vaccines, which enhances the immunity to a particular disease. Now, a vaccine is typically agent. So, what does vaccine contain? As I told you, vaccine doesn't contain any chemical substance. It contains biological material, the agent that resembles a disease-causing microorganisms. It mimics the disease. It mimics the disease-causing microorganisms. Okay. So, that's what is done here. Then, this agent stimulates the body immune system. So, that's what here. The body immune system is now maintaining a record record of that agent. See, that's what I told you just now. So let us take up, this is the coronavirus. Okay, coronavirus is having the spike proteins all around. This is the spike protein. Through the spike protein, it gets into lung cells. It gets into the lung cells. Okay, why? Why only lung cell? It can get into our eye cell. It can get into our nose cell. It can get into our skin cell. No, it gets into the lung cell. Why? Because lung cells are having ACE2 receptor. Okay, so ACE2 receptor and spike protein, and the spike protein of this virus, they are compatible. So ACE2 receptor gets anchor this spike protein. Once, that means reception, it receives. Once it receives means it penetrates, it endocytoses. So that's what happens. Then it keeps a record of it. So vaccine may be therapeutic. At times vaccines are therapeutic vaccines. That is disease, what is it called, maintenance, the disease reducing. Okay, like for cancers also, the vaccines are now coming up. Let us see the whole organism. So there are vaccines, whole organisms are given, attenuated viral, attenuated bacteria, inactivated viral, inactivated bacteria. Whole vaccine is given as it is. That's what here our Bharat Biotech has taken up. Inactivated Bharat Biotech. Okay, and Sinovac. Sinovac, it is in China, it is from India. They have taken inactivated coronavirus as the vaccine. Then there is purified macromolecules. Purified macromolecules as recombinant vaccine. See, recombinant vaccine, it is an important thing with regard to the hepatitis B surface antigen. Hepatitis B surface antigen, the recombinant protein. Okay, so recombinant vector. Please, all of you remember vector-based vaccines. Whenever the DNA is, I will let you know here, there is adenovirus. There is adenovirus. Okay. So now what is happening is our Serum Institute of India that is present in Pune, they have taken the adenovirus of chimpanzee. They have taken the adenovirus of chimpanzee. So into that adenovirus, they inserted the DNA spike protein of, they injected the spike protein of the coronavirus just before the tissue plasminogen activator. Tissue plasminogen activator. That's what is constructed. That is a recombinant. It is a constructed vector. So then this is given. This spike protein, this tissue plasminogen activator. This tissue plasminogen activator is being activated by the host system. We have got the tissue plasminogen activator gene. It releases the, what is it called, plasmin, all those things. So it promotes the spike protein to produce. Once the spike protein comes, it's a foreign protein. Macrophages identify that. That's what here, the recombinant antigen. Then DNA vaccines, that's what the breakthrough. Vectored vaccine, what I explained to you, chimpanzee CHADOX1. CHADOX1, that is the trade name given, that is Serum Institute of India in collaboration with AstraZeneca. Nowadays, messenger vaccine also has come, messenger RNA by Pfizer. That is entrapped in lipid nanoparticles. So now the factors still limit the effectiveness of the vaccine are still profile for the entire, safe profile for the entire population, long-term immunity and single dose administration. If the DNA vaccine is single dose, like that of hepatitis B vaccine, we are taking 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Boost injections are there. But with regard to the DNA vaccine, it's only a single time. Easy administration through mucosal routes, mucosal immunity, simple manufacturing, resistance to temperature changes, and multivalency and disease control. These many factors are there. Like this, the DNA vaccine is now being extensively promoted. Still, it has not come to the large extent uses. Now, DNA vaccines are the new breakthroughs in the field of immunization. And it is quite different from the traditional vaccines. That's what I've been mentioning earlier also. Attenuated, inactivated, subunit, toxoid, they're all classical. proposed by Edward Jenner, a little bit change from Edward Jenner, modification, but DNA vaccine is altogether a new concept. Okay, usually they take here plasmids, and here they have taken we have got human adenovirus. Because of this adenovirus, adenoids in the nose, behind the nostrils, they swell, particularly in the case of the kids. Okay, adenoids swell. So that adenoids swell because of the adenovirus is present. So they have taken chimpanzee adenovirus, which is inactivated. In that they inserted the DNA of the coronavirus. Now, it is different from recombinant vaccines, where the gene coding for the antigen proteins is expressed in prokaryotic system as the carrier. So now, let us see the diagrammatic thing. So let us say this is the DNA vaccine. It is taken to the plasmid. So this is gone into the E. coli, because E. coli is an expression system. From this, they developed the growth of the clone. The E. coli originally doesn't have this particular DNA. Now it is kept in the E. coli. Okay. So now the E. coli is producing this through the alkaline lysis, and the plasmid is isolated. Bacteria is having the plasmids. This plasmid is kept in E. coli. It is isolated. Okay. So the plasmid is given as it is as DNA vaccine to the human beings. Plasmid. These all plasmids are circular. So like this genetic material as a copy of the DNA from the pathogen, it is kept in the plasmid. It is a constructed plasmid. Constructed, they say. Originally the plasmid doesn't have the spike protein. Now the spike protein is added. Then it is said to be constructed plasmid. So that is given as the DNA vaccine. Like this, the plasmids carry the DNA of the pathogen. Once these plasmids carry the DNA of the pathogen, that constitutes a vaccine. Okay. DNA vaccine containing the plasmids. Now I told you adenovirus, that the total inactivated organism called the virus. Now it is the plasmid that is being taken here. So that type of thing, at times this is called the gene gun. So with the gene gun, they inject it to the epidermis of any organism or human beings. So one of the most efficient route for the administration of the DNA vaccine is intradermal, because if it is given in the blood, it flows in the blood, it will constitute what is it called, it will be of no use. If it is given in the intradermal, it stays in the cell and it transcribes and translates the protein of the choice. That's what the gene gun is taken. The gene gun is having compressed helium to deliver DNA coated gold particles. Pathways of the DNA vaccine. So once the DNA vaccine is given, it produces the antigen. The antigen is taken by MSC molecule. MSC means, see please, you get to know about MSC. Major histocompatibility complex. Major histocompatibility complex. That means every cell is having MSC molecule class 1. Your MSC, my MSC is again different, that I am not speaking now. These are the MSC molecules which receives the antigen. Okay. So that's what whenever the vaccine is designed, they see the MSC haplotypes in the population. So like this, the mRNA molecule is produced, mRNA is translated, and then it goes into the cytoplasm, into the endoplasmic reticulum. Through the endoplasmic reticulum, TAP1, TAP2, that is a transporter aided protein through which it comes to the MSC molecule. So like this, it binds to either CD4 cells or CD8 cells. So this is the diagram. Whatever that we have shown as theory, the diagram is here. So DNA vaccine is given into the cell, epidermal cells, and the DNA protein is produced, viral protein. Viral protein is being taken by antigen presenting cell, APC, antigen presenting cell. Okay. So this antigen presenting cell is being received by the CD4 T cells. Okay. The CD4 T cell, T helper cell. CD4 T helper cell promote the B cell. B cell produces antibody. Okay. So that's what it does. Otherwise, the endoplasmic reticulum, if it is a viral protein, is being taken by CD8 T cytotoxic T lymphocyte. CD8 T cytotoxic T lymphocyte. It calls it CTL. it kills ultimately the pathogen. So this is the exogenous pathway. Antigen presenting cells, what do they do? So antigen presenting cells are, what are antigen presenting cells? They are macrophages. They are macrophages. Okay, so those macrophages are having MSC class 1. For viral protein, MSC class 1. For bacterial protein and other proteins, it is MSC class 2. That's what it conveys the information. It conveys the information through that. Okay, so MSC class 2 molecules in endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi particle apparatus enter acidified endosomes in which the foreign protein has been fragmented to peptides. MSC peptide complex is then brought to the surface and it's being exposed, recognized by the T helper cells. So then specific helper T cells recognize the antigen, okay, either MSC class 1 or MSC class 2 molecule complex. And then they get activated. Once the cell is activated, how do we know the cell is activated? It has to produce the cytokines. Okay, and these cytokines have many activities. Okay, so as a result, they help the B cell to produce immunoglobulins. Okay, so like that. So this is what, let us see again one more diagram. This is the DNA vaccine in a plasmid or in a vector. We are giving it to the cell. In the cell, from this mRNA is produced. Okay, as with regard to this mRNA, ultimately it produces a protein, short peptide, through endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi particles. And through this short peptide goes into the MSC class 1. It is going to be kept there. Okay, and this MSC class 1 coupled, MSC coupled with peptide is being seen by this TCR, that is T cell receptor complex. TCR means T cell receptor complex, CD8 cells. So it attacks the infected cell. At times, this protein is being given by MSC class 2. Okay, it is presented to CD4 cells. It is presented to the CD4 cells. CD4 cells promote for the production of the B cell to produce antibodies. That's what here, if a DNA vaccine is given, the cell makes the protein, and this protein is presented either through MSC class 1 or through MSC class 2, depending upon the viral or bacteria, respectively. Okay, if it is viral, CD8 cell responds. If it is bacteria, CD4 cells will respond. So DNA vaccines inside the adenovirus. This is what the adenovirus. Inside the adenovirus, the DNA vaccine is kept. So this is what the latest one. Okay. So if it is kept inside the cell, it goes inside. It produces the protein. Spike protein. So this is being produced by Gamaleya. Gamaleya is a company in Russia. It produced this, and they gave the name Sputnik V. So let us, this is what the Gamaleya does. Okay, here the DNA vaccine is given here, spike protein is produced. The spike protein is being taken by the macrophage. Okay, so the macrophage gives the T helper cells. So the T helper cell gives to the B cell. Okay, T helper cell gives the B cell. B cell produces immunoglobulins. So those immunoglobulins attack this spike protein. Now again I repeat. So this is what Gamaleya did is a human adenovirus vectored vaccine is given. Once it is given, the DNA of the coronavirus is taken by the ribosomes. Ribosomes translate and mRNA transcribes. mRNA translate, here protein is formed. The protein is being released out by the MSC molecules. And this released out protein is taken by macrophage. Macrophage presents to the T helper cell. So the T helper cell presents to the B cell. B cell produces immunoglobulins. Okay, so these immunoglobulins attack, neutralize this coronavirus. Like that, the coronavirus is being eliminated. That is the concept with which Gamaleya has come out with vaccine. So recombinant vector vaccines. So these are nothing but recombinant vectors. That is, vector is made recombinant. So vector refers to the virus here or bacterium used in this carrier. Example, Covishield, a Sputnik. So applications of this DNA vaccines are, DNA vaccines work against cancer, DNA vaccine against tuberculosis, DNA vaccine works against Edwardella, and DNA vaccine works against anthrax and also against typhoid. DNA vaccine works against dengue. DNA vaccine also works against COVID-19. Okay. So with this, let us see the summary. DNA vaccine was discussed here. CHAdOx, this is Serum Institute of India developed. There is chimpanzee adenovirus vaccine, that is inactivated chimpanzee. Vector vaccine and human adenovirus vector vaccine by Gamaleya. Applications of DNA vaccines are shown. Recombinant plasmid or recombinant adenovirus DNA vaccines are shown. So the study questions are: elaborate on DNA vaccines, enlist the applications of DNA vaccines, what are the vectored vaccines, give examples. So with this lecture, we prepare the notes for these questions. Okay. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.